Okay, dokes.
I mean, my camera up.
Oh, okay.
Second to last section. What did we think?
Liked it.
Really good.
I feel like a lot happened.
Yeah.
What happened? It was kind of
dark.
It was funny how she's like, she was this, she was that, she was there. She was
Okay.
I'm like, okay, we get it.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, yeah.
At one point, I was gonna skip over it, but I'm like, I probably should know like all the things she's done.
I skipped over it, or I just glanced at it.
It was just very repetitive. And I
Yeah.
mean, I found it kind of, yeah, it was annoying, but I feel like it was at some point trying to really emphasize that she was lost. And
Mhm.
Which that makes sense.
yeah. After that whole, like the chapter after the Lost in the Library, I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. She made it for a reason to really, one, realize that she's just lost it. I was like, okay, fine. I'm not that mad.
I kind of thought she was gonna ask the librarian, like, is there a way to go back to her, like, real life, her,
Mm-hmm.
but she didn't.
I was waiting for that too. I was like, I think she finally needs to go back, but it didn't happen.
Do you think she'll stay in this current life she's in?
I kind of think so.
Yeah. It sounds happy.
I
I
feel
kind
like
of feel like her daughter is her, right?
mm,
Like, because she kind of describes her as, like, looking like her, kind of, like, nervous, like.
The only thing I can think of, I still think she might go back to her root life, because she mentioned it in the story with Dylan, that she didn't think it was fair for her to stay because he was in love with the former version of her.
Mm.
And I feel like, especially with the child, she wouldn't want to take that child's mother away from her, even though it's still her.
yeah.
But that's the only thing I could. Either way, I would rather stay in that life with the kid and the neurosurgeon husband, but I don't know if she'll stay.
Yeah. I thought when she walked out of the room, because I remember that Ash was a surgeon, I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna be amazed. Like, this is my house, a whole fucking mansion. Like, I don't know. But then she was talking about the kid, and I was like, oh, this could go bad. Because one, she's still kind of like, I don't want kids kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like as she's talking to her more and actually interacting with her, I feel like if she doesn't stay in this life, I think she'll want a kid of her own.
Maybe do it on her own.
But in one of her other lives, like she had a kid, but the kid didn't interact with her, so it was kind of like, it's different than now.
Yeah.
I think that was like the sign that she might end up with Ash in the end, because the kid was their child and all those other kids were not with him. That makes.
I still wonder if we're gonna get to know more about Ravi.
Oh yeah,
Ravi. They kept mentioning him, and then I feel like he just kind of disappeared. But I'm like, what happened? I don't know. Maybe he's not important, and they just.
It's funny because
made it seem.
I feel like he was mentioned more, and we thought maybe she'll end up with Ravi, but Ash was mentioned just a tiny bit at the beginning, and then he took on a more serious role towards the end.
I think there'll be a life, or at least a few sections with closure for her brother, because it was kind of hinting at it at one point, and then it switched to her going to all these different lives, that there was something between her and her brother that has not been resolved. And I think Ravi the closure with him will be in the same section.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like there has to be closure, because when she found out that her brother had died in the other section, like, she was really heartbroken.
Mhm.
So there has to be something there to like tie off, like whatever happened between them to be settled.
Oh my gosh, I think I made a mistake. Were we not supposed to read all the way to the end?
You finished
Did you
it?
read?
Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna just listen because I finished it by accident.
By accident, she
You guys
finished
talking
it on
out, I was like,
purpose.
wait.
Corina.
So you have nothing to read for this upcoming week.
No wonder I thought it was long, and I was like, oh, I procrastinated. I need to finish. I need
Oh
to
my
finish. And then
Corina, you're so used to this routine though. Second to last, we have a book suggestion, and then we vote, and then we have our last meeting.
I honestly
I
thought
wrote-
this was the last
That's-
one too, but that's why I
I
asked you
wrote down that
because I was like,
I wrote down that we were supposed to read the podcast to how it ends. So I did. I'm sorry. So where did you guys stop? So I only comment on that part.
The game was the last thing we read.
Wait, we read the game? I didn't.
We didn't read the game.
Oh my gosh, you guys, we were supposed to read the game.
No, you said page like 176.
No,
Or 227. You said stop at 227.
no,
And I was
don't, no.
Oh well.
How did I mess that up? I wrote it down.
Secretly, I thought I read ahead because I'm like, well, I want to see the conversation between the daughters, so I only read 2 pages.
You were supposed to read the podcast to the game. Don't.
Yeah, but I understood like stop at the game, not read the game.
Oh my gosh, if you.
How many pages is it? Just give us a
This
5
is
minute.
It's
This is
Well,
the
we'll
reason
just
why we need chapters.
It's 5 page. Well, I mean, we didn't make the book,
5 pages?
so
Oh,
we,
okay.
we don't have
I already read
that.
2. I just need 3.
Damn it! And I thought it was a cute ending where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
let's play a game. Let's like, you know, like, oh, that's sweet. She's gonna play a game with her daughters.
Yeah.
I mean, we can give you time to read. It's 5 pages. It's cute.
I'm gonna need 20 minutes. Just kidding.
It's really cute. We can put the meeting on pause. I don't.
Katie,
Well-
did you read or where did you read to?
I read the game.
Okay. So am I the only one that didn't read it?
No, me. I didn't either. Well, except for 2 pages because I got ahead thinking I got ahead, but I didn't.
So I must have
Mírala.
read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys keep talking and I'll read it while you guys are talking.
Same.
No, I mean, no. We can stop for a little.
No, that's just awkward because then it's like, oh, I feel like I have to read it so fast.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
No, then you're all just gonna watch my little eyes go.
Same.
We can do popcorn.
Oh, let's do it. Who wants to
Oh,
be
yes.
a girl? Who wants to be Molly?
The only issue is that they don't, it's with their quotations, it's confusing for me.
Yeah. I'll just pause it. Yeah, pause it for a little bit.
So beautiful.
And the next one says the perfect life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But will she fool us and call it the perfect life, yet she won't end up there?
Amazing. Did anybody else read the dog's name is Flaco?
Leo, like the philosophist, right? Or philosopher.
Mhm.
Yeah, Plato.
Later.
I found it interesting that towards the beginning of the book, it was like cat, 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 cat. And now it's all about dogs. It's like,
Well, she had the
Oh,
lamb
yeah.
at one point, right, with her dad.
she never mentioned it was a lab. I went back to
she did.
reread it. Mm-mm.
Really? I'm pretty sure she did it because she was like, oh, I had floppy ears. And that's why I was prone to ear infection.
You know that because of what you do, the prone to ear infection. Because I reread it and they never mentioned the lab.
Oh.
hmm I was like, no.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wrote it.
No.
Maybe not.
Crystal, what are you doing?
There, mosquito.
There's a mosquito. And it's not dying because I'm trying to slap it with like an empty envelope.
Llámale a Luis.
He just left.
Oh.
It's like on my shelf.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
sorry. I'm back.
Wasn't that cute though? That last part?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was adorable.
It was definitely worth the read, having a conversation with a tiny human.
Yeah.
You humans are funny.
Mm-hmm.
What did we think of the
And
song?
that she,
How?
oh, yeah. It made me think of a lone wolf and how right now she's kind of on her own, but then wolves also live in packs, and how she was kind of like trying to please everyone, so like everyone in her pack, but she really should be thinking about herself, so she should be the lone wolf in a way.
She wrote that for her brother, right?
Mhm.
After he passed. Okay.
Yeah, because they mention it after they mention his death, which that was sad. Especially because Joe is Joanna. How was she supposed to know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bye, Cora.
It just reminded me of, because Florence and the Machine has a song called Howl. So I was just playing that in my head when I was reading that section.
When was this book written? When did it come out? Is it recent?
Yeah.
Okay, because they saw like they were mentioning the fires of California, and I'm like, okay, this is recent.
It
Mhm.
was 2020, the last year. And like they even at the start of the book, you know how they write a little note to someone, they dedicated it to the healthcare workers. So I'm pretty sure because of COVID and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the song is sad, but I feel like it kind of also is nice to see that she's like, hey, life isn't over, kind of like keep going, like power through.
Mhm.
Just kind of nice. But it's also sad because I feel like wolves howl. When they howl, it sounds like they're in pain. It sounds like they're crying for someone, or, you know, like trying to find their family or something. I don't really know if that's true, but that's how I assume. So yeah, I kind of like that they included it though, because it's like, oh, this howl song, they always do it at the end, but what does it really say?
Like you said, a call for help.
Mhm.
Because it is a very haunting sound.
Mhm.
I think we're right with that section that says someone else's dreams. The first couple lives she was living, they were all things that she didn't really want to do. It's what other people in her life she cared about wanted her to do. And that's why she was disappointed in them, because it wasn't what she wanted.
Yeah. I was just turning to that page, and that's the exact same thing I was going to say. That I found it interesting that I'm not upset, and I'm just like, damn it, why didn't I see it? But it's like super clear that it was not her dream at all. And I'm like, wow, it's kind of nice to see that message of like, don't live your life for other people. I was like, oh my God, beautiful. I'm like, wow.
And so I wonder, in the section that's the perfect life,
Mm-hmm.
is because when they were playing the game, her and her daughter, she found out she was teaching philosophy, she had a family, she seemed from the game kind of stable, which
Mhm.
would make us believe that her life is perfect. That's why they called it that. But then, with so much of the book left, what does that mean for her?
Mm.
The life she actually wants? Or are you allowed to get a perfect life so easily like that just by reading one of the books in the library?
It makes me wonder because she's lived all these lives. Like, does she want to go back? Like, or it's all of this teaching her how to find that perfect life?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's very interesting. Would you guys want to do that? Like, if you had the chance to just, skip
I
the
don't think
page?
so.
I don't think that many times.
I feel
Like,
like
do a few times and then go back.
I was gonna say I feel like it seems appropriate once you go through like that one regret, like it just happened and you're like, let me go back and fix it. But because we don't really know the outcome of, that one decision, that one little thing, I think I'm fine. Yeah, I would like to change certain things, but you don't know what's really gonna happen with that one change. And like I feel like she struggled, like, oh, in this one my dad died, in this one my brother died, my mom died earlier, and I don't know, I feel like she was still kind of upset. So I feel like I'm happy with all that has happened, whether at that moment I was or wasn't. So I don't think I would.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's just like, yes, you would want to change some things, but you don't know how that's gonna turn out. Like, you make your choices and you live with them and you struggle with them. And I see that happening to her.
Yeah.
Like, there's a book where it's just like, I did that, but what's the point of wanting to change it?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious to explore my own book of regrets, but I don't really think I would want the big, oh, try out all these lives because I think that it would be overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even if they're like supposedly different lives of her, it's not her actual root life. I just don't think she can avoid her root life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it talked about, I forgot what page it was on, but it was talking about how regrets aren't as like major as we think they are, because life is a balance between sadness, happiness. You can't have one without the other.
Mm-hmm.
So you could, dwell on your regrets, but if you don't handle what's presented in front of you in the present, it's not going to help you later on in life or change things from the past.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot what page that was on.
I think it might have been 179 because I didn't really take notes, but that's the only note that I wrote. So, we spend so much time wishing our lives were different, and then there's something that says, when really most lives contain degrees of good and degrees of bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then it explains it a little more.
Yeah. I think around that same part is when she said that you can't just be happy all the time, right? And I feel like when I talk to my friends or when I talk to other people, I've mentioned that many times. I'm like, yes, it sucks to go through sad things or, like the negative in your life. But if we don't have that, how are we going to know we're in the happy moments? How are we going to know that, like the good times? So I really like that part too.
You can't have one without the other.
Mm-hmm. You got to have that balance, whether we want to or not.
It teaches resiliency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm excited to learn how this book ends. So,
Do you think she'll live?
Yes.
I almost want to say no.
Oh.
Like she's gonna come to peace with like life and like
Oh,
her
yeah.
regrets and kind of like move on.
I'm not
Is
allowed
that
to.
scary?
I thought at the beginning, I thought it could go either way, really, because I thought if the author chooses to go that way, then it can be like teaching us a lesson. Like she didn't choose to live, so she missed out on all this that could have been, and kind of like slam that lesson into the reader. But that's just what I thought in the beginning.
Yeah, I
'Cause
can't.
don't they say like? Oh, sorry, Josie. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you were already saying.
My thought wasn't even there. I was just gonna.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Chingo. I forgot to.
When it comes to me, I'll say.
Okay.
When it comes down.
Ya se me olvidó. What were we saying? What were we talking about?
If she'll live or die.
Yeah.
Oh, now I remember.
Go ahead.
Go. No, you go.
Yeah, just go somewhere.
Ay, perdón. You know what? I feel like, okay, so I spent almost the whole day with Crystal today, so I think that's why we're just like.
Oh, I see. No wonder.
Yeah, I was like, are you reading my mind? What's going on? I agree with Crystal, though, with the whole maybe she won't live, and also agreeing with Karina that it's going to teach kind of like a lesson to the reader. And I feel like it can also kind of be like, look, closure, and you know how they say you see your life pass through you right before you die or something like that? So I feel like maybe that's what she's going through, and then she dies because obviously she already did the damage.
The deed, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But maybe she didn't. Maybe she does live. I want to hope she does, but maybe Matt is just out here trying to show us a lesson. And
that's what, Judith, that's really funny you say that, because it's literally what I was going to say, but like slightly differently, where it's like, that's what they say, right? It's like when you die, like supposedly like you're in this in-between world, whether your spirit stays on the planet or whatever and haunts your loved ones. I feel like that's kind of like what she's doing, but she's jumping from life to life. Like she's kind of just getting closure for the life that she lived, and like noticing the mistakes that she's made, and like maybe it's just too late to go back.
Yeah.
And she had to find her closure that's how her life ended, and make peace with it,
and or be happy that she lived the life that she lived.
Yeah,
you know.
I like to think that she would go back just because she wasn't happy in her real life, and I think I like to believe that, you know, going through all these lives, that she can go back and actually like have the courage to talk to her brother and to like take a path that she would actually want to live.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I think she might live is because of the scene of the river, where Mrs. Elm makes her relive that of swimming through the river, and that she didn't give up and there was hope then. And then the chessboard where she was a pawn, talking about being a pawn, and that even like the smallest choices can make the biggest impact. That's my hope, but we'll see what Matt has in store for us.
Yeah.
Slap in the face.
Yeah.
Don't say anything, Corina.
I will.
I feel like
that's right.
I feel like I should have to do a demerit. This is the second time I read ahead by accident.
I mean, I know you told us you read the whole thing, but I was like, why is Corina not saying anything? Like, girl.
Is it a happy ending?
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
No spoilers, please. I don't think it's fair. I'll let you guys find out, and I'll reread the last section again. That way I have it fresh in my mind next time.
But what did you give it as a rating? Now that you finished it.
No.
I wouldn't change it.
On Goodreads.
But overall. So.
She's a hard critic. Like she's like, you know,
I
like
really
I need to know whether I'm gonna be pleased or not.
Yeah, you're right. I think you can give us a review. Not full review, just a number. A number!
Oh, okay.
Only if the
Judith
bookmaster
hates-
says
Huh?
so. Only if the bookmaster says it can be.
No, you can go ahead. Give it a. It's fine because I know that your reviews, Katie, definitely. The end has a big impact for her. So if Katie had read ahead and she gave us a rating, I'd be more like, you know. But
Well, this
Corina,
is
I
my
think
book
she does
choice,
it overall.
so either way, I would give it a 5 out of 5.
If you want, Karina, go ahead. If you want to give spoilers, I'm gonna have to leave the room because
I don't want spoilers. I just need a number.
Okay, you can do the number. I just always overanalyze and I start, so okay, go ahead.
I'll just say on Goodreads I gave it a 4 out of 5 and that's it. But that's not the actual number because the actual number has a 0.5 on it.
What's the point? 4.5.
Basically, yeah.
Hey, it could
But
have
she
been a
didn't like the
3.5.
ending.
It could have been a 3.5.
But I rate them very like in a different style. I don't really know how. It
Yeah.
just comes to me, I guess.
Yeah, I do it by feeling.
Well, I think this is a nice twist because it will make the reading experience for the rest of us more interesting.
Like, where is that 0.5 taken off?
Oh my gosh.
Feel free to text me, Crystal, when you finish. And we can discuss further or wait till next week.
How many pages are there? Is it like 30?
232 to 288. 50 some.
No
Okay.
wonder it seemed like a longer piece, and I was like, "Wait, is it long?" I know what happened. I know we weren't gonna do the
You
last.
read like
week of May.
100 pages.
I read it all today too, and I was all stressing because I thought I was behind. And then, since we're not doing the meeting at the end of May, for some reason, I think my mind construed that as we're finishing this meeting, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there's one more weekend before the end of May, I don't think my mind grasped that.
Mhm.
And then in my book, I did write it because I started writing it in my book, and I wrote to how it ends. So then I was like, oh, okay, that's what I have to read, and then I just read it.
I think the last chapter is it ends, how it ends.
Yeah.
I think,
Oh, well.
yeah, I may have mentioned, I was like, oh my gosh, the end is how it ends. And maybe you wrote it down as I was saying it.
That's probably what happened.
I have a feeling that may have happened, but it's okay. You know, if you do it one more time, you can't be in the club anymore. Just kidding. JK, I would not do that.
You
No.
get what is it like when you got in trouble in school and they put like they gave you like a little check or something like that? It's like you can't participate.
Like you're expelled. No, I would never. Okay. Any more
We're in an
comments?
extra mile this week of my dinner.
Any more comments on this section?
Mm-mm.
No.
I'm
We're
excited.
at the end now, and we can discuss new books.
Sweet.
Claudia, have you been here for the book suggestion?
Probably.
No, but I do have one in mind, but I don't know. I
But
tried reading it many times, so I'm kind of just hoping that we pick that one so I can actually finish it.
but have you been here when we suggest the books? I think you were here once. No? Because we just in case, because I feel like the rest of the girls kind of know. We each go mention our book, read a little bit about it if you want, and then we do the voting like Wednesday so we can get our books ready for the following week, which obviously won't be. We'll have more time since we'll take the break for the Memorial Day. Memorial Day? Yeah, for the Memorial Day weekend. And then I'll put the stuff up on Instagram. But
I'll go last so I can see what you guys are doing.
okay. Who wants to go first?
I'll go because I think mine kind of sucks.
Okay.
So
Yours is kind of what?
it kind of sucks.
Oh,
Like compared to what
wow.
I'm already seeing. That's why
Okay.
I'm like, okay. So I picked maybe in another life, kind of to go after this one because
Okay.
this one also has like decisions.
Yeah.
So I'll just read you what the back says. It says, at the age of 29, Hannah Martin still has no idea what she has to do with her life. She has lived in 6 different cities and has held countless meaningless jobs since college. But on the heels of a disastrous breakup, she has finally returned to her hometown of LA. To celebrate her first night back, her best friend Gabby takes Hannah out to a bar where she bumps into her high school boyfriend Ethan. It's just past midnight when Gabby asks Hannah if she's ready to go. Ethan quickly offers to give her a ride later if she wants to stay. Hannah hesitates. What happens if she leaves with Gabby? What happens if she leaves with Ethan? In concurrent storylines, Hannah lives out the effects of each decision. Quickly, these parallel universes develop into surprisingly different stories with far-reaching consequences for Hannah and the people around her, raising questions including, is anything meant to be? How much in our lives is determined by chance? And perhaps most compelling, is there such a thing as a soulmate? Hannah believes there is, and in both worlds, she believes she's found him. I just thought romance.
Yeah. And the author for this,
Oh,
girl.
Taylor Jenkins Reid.
If y'all don't know,
I don't.
No, what?
she is the author of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Is she really? No,
She
she's
did.
not.
Did you not realize?
No, but oh my
I
god, I'm
picked
even
it.
more intrigued now. Okay, we have to pick this now. Just kidding. My
Oh
book is a
my-
contender.
I thought you knew. I was like,
No, I didn't. Wait, I didn't even look at the author, to be honest. I just read I picked a book and I read the back.
oh my gosh. Well, that's that.
It's
Which we mentioned
it,
before.
guys.
Don't
That's
understand.
it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll add this one. Okay. Who's next?
I can go next. I'll try to do the video so you can see the cover, but if it's too glitchy, tell me. Okay. So my pick for this month's vote is The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Woolley. And I'll read the inside front cover. 18-year-old Donis Fontaine has never quite fit in, both in her hometown and on the nearby Ojibwa reservation. She dreams of a fresh start at college, but when family tragedy strikes, Donis puts her future on hold to look after her fragile mother. The only bright spot is meeting Jamie, the charming new recruit on her brother Levi's hockey team. Yet even as Donis falls for Jamie, she senses the dashing hockey star is hiding something. Everything comes to light when Donis witnesses a shocking murder, thrusting her into an FBI investigation of a lethal new drug. Reluctantly, Donis agrees to go undercover, drawing on her knowledge of chemistry and Ojibwa traditional medicine to track down the source. But the search for truth is more complicated than Donis imagined, exposing secrets and old scars. At the same time, she grows concerned with an investigation that seems more focused on punishing the offenders than protecting the victims. Now, as the deceptions and deaths keep growing, Donis must learn what it means to be a strong Anishkabekwe, or Ojibwa woman, and how far she'll go for her community, even if it tears apart the only world she's ever known. It's a thriller, enriched with a Native American experience. So I think this one will be good because I've never read a novel with Native American main characters, I don't think. And I think the thriller part is good because we've liked the thrillers such as one of the first ones we read, I can't remember the title right now, the one with the dog and Richard, and The Shining.
No.
And I think we'll learn a little bit about Native American culture. And it's also written by a Native American woman author. So
I think it will be good to learn about that. And then it's Reese's Young Adult Book Club picks, in case we want to keep going with that trend. And that's my pitch.
Good. I did see that. She mentioned this one before, like last month, 2 months ago.
Yeah, it was a little while ago.
Yeah, I noticed it. I think that's the book she was also giving out a while back, right?
I think so.
I think so. Okay, cool. You want to go next, Eileen? I'm looking down because I'm already getting like the pictures and stuff for so I'm actually paying attention.
I was gonna go next, but I didn't want to be called out.
Oh, my bad. I just had a feeling.
Yeah, of course. It's Eleanor Oliphant. I was gonna read as oil, but it's Oliphant. It's completely fine. I'm gonna read the back. It says, "Me, Eleanor Oliphant. She struggles with appropriate social skills and tends to say exactly what she's thinking. Nothing is missing in her carefully timetabled life, where weekends mostly consist of frozen pizza, vodka, and phone chats with Mummy. But everything changes when Eleanor meets Raymond, the bumbling IT guy from her office whose big heart will ultimately help Eleanor find the way to repair her own profoundly damaged one. Smart, warm, and uplifting, Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine as a story of an out-of-the-ordinary heroine whose deadpan weirdness and wit make for an irresistible journey as she realizes the only way to survive is to open your heart." That's all.
That sounds uplifting. No murder or huge life decisions.
That we know of.
Yeah. Good turn on it.
Bam, frozen pizza eats her.
Yeah. Too much vodka.
Alcoholic.
That's romance too, right?
I think so.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And it's also part of Reese's book club.
I feel like
What book isn't?
You know, right?
all of them.
Reese is on her shit, man. She's like, or her people are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to think it's like a organization trying to feed us in like
One of the
propaganda or something.
the kind of book you want to devour in a single sitting.
Oh,
I'll try
Thanks
not
for
to.
pizza.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, do we really want that when we separate it and you're like, I gotta.
When we separate it? Oh, I mean, I'll get to it eventually.
Mm-hmm. I can go next because mine is also from Reese's list.
Okay.
And I just Googled good books to recommend to people. And this is what popped up. And it's a mystery thriller like Karina's. The Guest List.
Cool.
Very short explanation of it. Jules and Will have chosen to hold a wedding on a remote island off the coast of Ireland. Then a storm hits, and then a body is found, and like the old Irish saying, it's not a party unless somebody ends up dead. And that's
That's the same author as yours, right, Yulie?
Lucy Foley.
No.
Oh, no. Oh.
Claire Pooley. Almost.
Yeah, they sound like the same person.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Are you talking about the book you gave me?
I don't know. Which book? I don't know.
I think you gave me the book called The Book of Lost and Found. This one? Do you remember?
Yes, I did. Yeah. That's probably why it looks familiar.
Well, I didn't finish it because I got bored.
Well, that's that
That's
book.
not good for me.
I know. I was like, oh man, I'll try not to like think about that as I'm thinking about your book.
But Reese recommended it.
Yeah, that.
Or her
King Ray.
minions
Just
did,
kidding.
not who actually runs that thing.
No, it was just slow. It was really good, and then it just kind of went really slow, and I was like, okay, I guess. My book is this one, The
Oh.
Authenticity Project, which is funny because it's about a green journal as we're finishing a book that's about green books. I was like, oh, hilarious. Overall, it's a story of a solitary green notebook that brings together 6 strangers and leads to unexpected friendship and even love. That's like the little main thingy. And then it goes into saying, Julian, an eccentric, lonely artist, believes that most people aren't really honest with one another, but what if they were? And so he writes in a plain green journal the truth about his own life and leaves it in his local cafe. It's run by the tidy and efficient Monica, who adds her own entry and leaves the book in the coffee bar across the street. Before long, others who discover the green notebook add the truths about their own deepest selves and soon find each other in the real life at Monica's cafe. By turns, quirky and funny, heartbreaking and true to life. The Authenticity Project is a story about being brave and putting your real self forward and finding out that it's not as scary as it seems. In fact, it looks a lot like happiness. It's a real good book. Uplifting book.
I love how Monica is efficient and organized.
What?
And I love how it's Monica who owns a cafe and she's efficient
From
and
Friends.
organized. Yes.
Maybe this person was inspired.
Possibly.
Maybe. Yeah, that's my book.
Okay, my book is just because I've never been able to finish it. I've read like halfway and then I stopped and then I restarted it and read it like a fourth of the way. So hopefully this time I actually get to finish it. And it's just 100 Years of Solitude.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys read it before, but it's by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and I'll read the back. It says 100 Years of Solitude tells the story of the rise and fall, birth and death of the mythical town of Macondo through the history of the Buendia family. Invested, amusing, magnetic, sad, and alive with unforgettable men and women brimming with truth, compassion, and lyrical magic that strikes the soul. This novel is a masterpiece in the art of fiction. I'm still struggling through it. I mean, it's good, but it's just, I don't know.
I have it in Spanish.
I'm unmotivated. You have it in Spanish?
Yeah. I think Corina read it, right? I want to say so, because I remember, and I think Luis wanted to read it, right, Crystal?
He has a copy, yes.
Mm-hmm. And I remember I wanted to pitch it, but because Corina read it, I was like, well, mejor no.
Actually.
But it'd be kind of cool to consider that one.
Oh, yeah.
Issues, hold on.
I'll just have to get an English copy.
Or
I had to read it for a Spanish class, but it was a while ago and I was supposed to read it in Spanish. And I didn't finish the whole Spanish one, and I read bits and pieces of the English one.
Oh.
So I don't mind rereading it.
Oh, okay.
It seems like it's in the shelf.
What did you say? You vote?
I'm like, I vote for this. Guys, don't forget.
Oh my gosh. That's funny. Okay, the guest list, and then.
Like, I'm ready for some love, romance.
I thought.
I need a good love story.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel the need to fall in love. I'm just kidding.
Whoa, all right.
There's the girl who has a 12-year-old.
What?
Her relationship is a 12-year-old.
12 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the
We're
heck?
going for 12. We're 11 and
Oh,
like
okay. I was like, wasn't
4
it
months.
10 last year?
No, what are we in? We're in May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 4 months. So 11
My
years.
mind went into two different directions. I thought first, briefly, a 12-year-old.
Yeah, I did say that.
And then I thought 12 years older. But then I recognized 12-year relationship.
I do call the relationship a 12-year-old or like an 11-year-old, a 10-year-old. It's like, oh my gosh, you have a kid.
We were talking about that today. I'm like, that's crazy. That's kind of gross.
That is crazy.
That's funny. Okay, I will post the book stuff up and we can vote by, well, Wednesday, Thursday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday
Wednesdays.
works.
Okay.
Or we can start looking for the books.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
And then Rico and Julie did not have books for this time, so we're good.
Okay.
So I guess that will be the books we have. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be the 12th book, Judith?
Yes, it will be.
The 12th book.
So it's got to be a good one. Think about it.
Dun, dun, dun,
Guys,
dun.
You guys already have it in your shelf.
I do have Cien Años in English and Spanish, I think.
I only have it in Spanish, so I don't know if I want to get it in English. Okay.
That one's
what is it they,
probably online.
is there like, I'm pretty sure there's applications now where you can like take pictures of your page and it reads it to you.
Oh my
I
god.
wonder if like you take a picture of it, read it to you, but in a different language.
Maybe.
Oh, I have the Spanish one. I don't think I have the English one, but I can probably get it from the library.
Yeah, that's
I thought I had. Maybe I do. I just don't know.
If we do choose that one and we all decide on the Spanish one, I could finally learn Spanish. Just so I
Right.
can.
It's like, I'd like to say I'm fluent in Spanish, but I'm still Googling words all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I
Same.
was like, I can't. Like, sometimes I'll like read it really slow. I'm like, wait, what's that?
I read twice as slow in Spanish as I do in English.
If you're twice, I'm like 4 times as slow.
This thing is fat. Look at the Spanish one.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, God. Oh, it's a pretty cover, though.
It is.
Thank you.
That's really pretty. Cien años, okay?
That's what
Soledad.
Oh,
It's in my
that's really
Spanish
cool.
book section.
You have a whole section of Spanish books?
It's little. Okay.
That's still quite a bit.
Okay, ladies, I'll see you next week.
Okay, have a good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
I will see you all.
Wait, we're not doing tea?
Who has tea?
What? Not at the moment, but I can go make some.
Not at the moment. Yeah, just try.
Stir up the pot. Nah, I don't got tea. I wish.
None for me.
I wish my life was a little dramatic. Why not?
Just throw something at someone. Make it
Let's go.
dramatic.
Vamos. ¿A quién le llamo? I'm just kidding.
Remember what Miss Elm said? The pawn, just one little move.
Ooh.
Things.
Katie, you're right.
Is that a new sticker? Little fish.
Collection. So does that mean it's being released at the year end or at the year mark? All our merch is gonna come out.
Oh.
The hat, the stickers, the shirt.
Oh,
Oh, Crystal.
when I was putting the hats together, I didn't realize it was going to cost me like $500
Oh,
to
shit.
do. Because it was like, no, it wasn't that bad, but it was like it costing about like between $20 and $30 a hat.
Oh,
You know, and so it's like, oh, okay, so if you order 10, it's like, you know, $200.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Damn. I mean,
If you want to do something really dark, the Dark Places one is darker, I would say, than My Dark Vanessa. It's scary.
what is
What is it
Ish.
called?
It's the one I'm reading on my Kindle. It's called Dark Places by Gillian Flynn, the same one that wrote Gone Girl. And it's
And you're
about
saying
this lady who survived